Currently, 4 of the 5 chapter officials of Tuananessiza chapter have been removed by the Office of Hearings and Appeals in Window. That is a result of a year-long investigation by the Ethics and Rules Office from Window Rock, Arizona. And this was initiated by Charlene Nez, the Secretary-Treasurer. She had filed the initial complaint with Ethics and Rules Office. So during the months of October to November, 4 of the officials were removed. And we currently have 2 of the officials that are filing grievances that have appealed to the Supreme Court to have their cases appealed. So they are in the process of doing that. That is Max Goldtooth and Robert Yazzie have appealed it to the Supreme Court to be heard and reconsidered. As a result, we cannot, as I'm told right now that we cannot do an election for those 2 positions just yet, but we are getting clarification from the Department of Justice in regards to that. And the last remaining official is Charlene Nez. And she has also been she stipulated to the Office of Hearings and Appeals, and she has agreed to pay $20,000 back to the Navajo Nation through payroll deduction, 25% from her check every 2 weeks. She has also stipulated that she will only serve no more than 60 days, and her 60th day will fall on April 7th, or until the 5 officials are elected, seated, and sworn into office. Then she's no longer an official. And the reason why this was done this way was because we needed 1 official for the chapter during this interim period. And because she was the whistleblower, because she reported the wrongdoing, the Office of Hearings and Appeals considered that for her. So I'm happy she's still here to help get the chapter back on track. And again, she is the whistleblower. She's the one that filed the complaint against the rest of the officials. If it wasn't for her, we would have never known what was going on in our Tuba City chapter. So I tell you all today that I commend her for being the whistleblower, for realizing that this was wrong to do that it was wrong to receive these bonuses. So as the council delegate, I commend her for that. And also as of February 7th at 10:04 a.m. in the morning, Charlene Nez served termination papers to 2 staff members that have an investigation that is ongoing. That is Priscilla Littlefoot, the executive manager, and the executive assistant, Noreen Parrish. So that notice was given to them on February 7th at 10:04 a.m. in Window Rock. So as a result, we are still working with personnel in Window Rock, as well as the Local Governance Support Center, as well as the Department of Justice, to make our decision on the rest of the staff that is here. I believe there's 2 or 3 staff members that are still remaining that should be on administrative leave currently. So right now, that's a brief update of what is going on. And also on the day of February 7th, the chapter was closed by the Local Governance Support Center because of risk of documents and equipment being removed from the chapter. So we took those precautions. But the chapter was reopened that same Friday at 1:00 p.m. after a meeting with the local governance support center. So today, the chapter should be open during this interim period. But we are only providing limited services to the people of Twin Nest as a chapter because of the limited staff that we have. We are only issuing wood permits and also sale of the wood that is remaining within the yard. Those are the only two services that we have. So if you call a chapter, most likely a message will be taken and routed back to the local governance support center, or you can also send me an email or call me on my cell phone as well.
Charlene is the elected chapter secretary-treasurer, was elected in November of 2008. So I've been on for the last 3 years, and my client Hashkan had to look at the Navajo and I was raised west of here at Monawi. My grandfather is James Maloney. So I was raised on a 6-acre farm by my grandparents. My mother's from the little Colorado River Gorge by Cameron, and my father's family's from Shanto, Inscription House area, and so that's how I am. I'm a mother of 3 sons, and I've lived here in the community for a long time. I was also a teacher for over 30 years in the educational system. In addition to that, like I said, I was elected to the position that I have right now. And my public statement that I'd like to make to you now is, I realize we brought in a lot of things, attention to the community of Tuba City. I realize and understand what took place, but I felt that it was necessary for me to take the actions that I needed to inform the public, inform the Ethics and Rules Office, and letting people know and them know that things weren't going well here in the chapter. First of all, were the bonuses that the chapter officials and I myself took. Being told it was fine to do so, although we did know this was wrong. That was just the tip of the iceberg, is what I knew at the time. I realized I had fiscal responsibility under 5 management system to take care of the records here, but a lot of the times I was not privy to the records. I was held back on a lot of things. I didn't know too much of what was going on concerning financial account statements. So with this, I went with what I had to the Ethics and Rules Office with Xerox copies of 2 of the checks, and that's what I filed with. And it took them probably, I filed in June of 2010, and it took them until March of 2011 to finally get all the investigation completed and start to talk with us. And I think that was the best thing that I could do, because there's a lot of money coming into the chapter, especially the sales tax. We have planned and got the sales tax. You all pay taxes in all the areas you go to, 6% with the hotel occupancy tax at 8%. So there's a lot of money coming in that we needed to be held accountable for. And so that was the reason why I did what I had to do. Now we're where we're at now. And I feel really happy because all of you are here. The door's open. It's opened the community back to the people again. When I was on the council for a long time, I didn't feel that the doors were open. It felt like we weren't welcoming the public in and the people into the community, into this building here. This is your building, and that's why I wanted to get this building back into the hands of you all. And I really strongly feel that way. And so I'm happy to see all of you here. I'm very happy that you're able to be here on behalf of yourselves, because you're the voters of Tuba City. And in addition, there's going to be comment sheets that you're going to be filling and completing. You need to express to yourselves what you want on behalf of your government. This is your government. When we went local government, yes, it was an alternative type of government. It gave it a lot of power just to find people. Too much power so that we took too much from you all. So I'm saying, when you're thinking about making public comments back, Give some good suggestions. Give good ideas on what we need to do. Hold us accountable. We want accountability. This is your chapter. You spend your sales tax money when you go to Bashas'. I mean, if I go to Bashas' to buy a newspaper, I won't buy it unless I pay that tax. So you're also in the same matter as well. So with that, we all need to make sure that money is spent correctly, money spent transparent, so you know what's going on. And that's what I wanted to let you know. And so I am, regardless of how hard it is, I know I sacrificed myself and my family, but it's the only way it was going to have to open. It's the only way to have blown the roof off the top of the chapter house, because you need to know what's going on. Now you know, now the investigation's still going on. We still are finding out more information, more things, and it's real scary. That's all I wanted to say.
Arvin Mitchell, leadership in the community development. The community development, but the nature. A question that English artist has Stranga has na Kigo is even the beta English a national has Kandigi LGSC in the double H. Arj is Lapundar a Arj a banana shilling. Ado Kuja chapter. I found there's not, you know, and there's not in the ligi. A year of everything days. I don't hit up quite Tonanis, does it? A without a chateau chapter. A time. A shame did not go watch that or the LGA. I call it any non state, indeed, community development, but the nature LGSC. I don't the chapter staff in that. Lego na kigo endalmış. Quite kuşiş latlaşın endalmış lena. Jo bikini it ano LGA. Ako hatta dinanış lena. Naçı LGSC. Beşkas ağacı besona gacı isi. Yendalmış chapter. Ehilna anneşigi taşa. Ehilna anneşigi. Hajla oltela Hajla na alteho khoda zala johanna winzenshi johat end ehna annashigita de ada enat sosta yokheta ila haja de ashat sos haja no tsra zanda ede dikheta shend ada inchketa but the whole controller's office. Yeah, peso. Now, Raja, peso, yani controller, Mark Grant. I don't the dominant beyond budget way, boholi. The key, na, the kid. Eshe Raj, Esha. No, Yahata. Likinit, Adoste, Oya Yegon, Silo, then quite not source K, okay, Oya nature now, consuch a whole G. So, RGC, what's the LGSC? I don't the hard washing, administrative support. I the Linigi Lacana, Yoshi. Fate, the Chicago. Die gaan nog twee AJ in Jan Haastra. Het is niet als klap Haastra, akkoord dat is het. Adom Kujik Western Agency 18 chapters. This 18 chapters. Akkoord dat housing na nasibo hondan ta. Goed Aisha. Adom de AJ da Nashiki LGSC. In 1998, it has on in Title 26. Arjun Hanita. 1998, LGA, no. Eya ishta bendol nashtidan to kodoni. Ashla hazado ashkendo nashishta. Hanat leda avasha ilno. Wins no ashkendo nash the name niho. Jokodoni. Ishla gogi eya personality. Nashigi is in. Geen beda in nistolich echa aja besona gajigi edo aja on the property ishin kwage be chapter be bohot nege bige joy a property on the procurement geen aja nahani geen aja fuyon na don nege be chapogi procurement records. Chapters the public hearing. Adon da sabe da na hodi ahbe o lish rodni nas we ni khasha ni ken od certify into the od ni jo LGA ebi khatabi bekhabe has ani di islam o ken no ne lo hit the od jonna khat ishe na LGA what LGA is, it recognizes governments at the local level, at the chapter level. Although with respect to Navajo law, with respect to Navajo custom, with tradition, the LGA, so I made a is not over need for the Nado yet. I could end the Koda Ohot Nigger, Quaha, Elsin in the Hohot Niggy day, Yakagi. I could end the Bay has Ani, Ebe, Bain Hohot Nigoli. I don't the now Yishigi, Asian custom and tradition. Ebe, Ebe, the Hohot Nigoli. So ya behas ani India. Adon da ada behas ani shon. Kojada en shige asati. Executive shishna ado legislator kojada not ani. Ako ke desti ado di de strassen nedigi shon. Hakenit aho behas ani behadat. And checks and balance again. Edi behadat. Geen desti kodak. So edi let's go. Zanda hakeni it out. Edi straus nedigi edi lasto. A kodigi ekwa etza. Kona nestas. Ekwa ya nasa dilsa. Adon the other, LGA certified. Katino and Katino Ika. Chapters begin Dyson. Shan Kohoda is a beginning. Adon Hill, Karbon Adash, Ayana. Digun Adash, Karbon Adash, Kayupinata. Ako di had Ado. Hatisha Ohot Nigin, Hunalia. Johano Ayal, Vincent, Tashi Quinoson. Hatisha is a other nature, Hunalia, Hakinate Am. Just like a business side lease, home side lease. Again, each a hundred. A hot egg, not sauce at a bundle, not sauce at Albert, Edo. You need to put that ordinance in place before you can practice the sale tax, to collect tax, to issue business licenses. Ben ya is in Russian, Ben ya o Tony, Kahasigo, station that by the Ben Nache, and all kind of house. I don't know, King and the issue quite a bit. Chapter 8, so say that in one nation, any property usually belongs to the nation. And quite a bit, under the version corner, unfit. I don't know. So I'll be honest, so a contract, a kind of Lagana. Geen oude, ik ga over niet. Best op het zin door je, best op het zin neer je, ben na twee oude, aan de schie, na vijf twee door die gaat niet. Zo kan dit eigenlijk iets gehad zijn de SAS. De knieën, oude, nazi, kade, de oude, de elite. You can't fight it, you can do your SA, you can issue contracts. Not so famous, then the top deep knowledge is given. It is lost in the league, a bit of a car, bit of a car. I don't the MOA that they clean. A survey, then I put out or they have no county that they established that chapter. A don't a young nature. I don't have it. I don't see this agent on evidence. I don't have it. I would end later. Rabbit inside DOJ added. Oh no. So what does she add? I would not. I don't want the taxation. Never John. A taxation. Oh no, not like it. I don't have issue local fees if needed. I don't have to I don't peacemaking court. I don't have to peace. Geen oude gedachten leven, geen oude, het is not peacemaking. You need to, these certified chapters, to put a procedures in place to hear all these hearings that needs to be heard here that reference local issues. Taxation. Alternative form of government is not then we need in Washington, days in the TCDC, oversight of Linda. I call it for Jay Shosha, but no, even not a strap. Jay could go a young, not only done. But they could only but I need an alternative form of government. Should cut it the snatch law. Should I initiate? I don't use something in the nature. Hakuishi had zero the net. Default alternative form of government again. Oya doya ashkunda. Kala up the day at the link. Yeah, a own matter. Do not eat at the Kadoni for it near. Oversleep, Hano, Zahan, as a hard and defeated. To a ponat, Annie, Besmans, and a trap, hatred. Did she how they tell she to how they do this? Shikabe Hanasi. They just get out. Did I don't want to have done. Did the hot and lady, Chake had seen. Lata na ita na disla sida na ita kaya kan naman kito di na nihilata disla katno jadi disin kroni ya baca hota ini na itu aku zinda katnelo sahal takhtai beda ini aku disin ya an kesin kan asla boleh nat ani nat nelo kaya ini जो ऐसी इसे तो नहीं ज़्यादा तो चीज़ ऐसी कोई ज़िंदगी शी तो आदि केस को चेंज नहीं शी तो वही करता बाकी ती वो बाहर ने खाए के खाला वो चीज़ जो एक रोनी ये बात हंसना आलों का शिश हंसन आलों एक बाहरना कहीं आरे ता इंग्लिश का हो ज़ंदे आलों का दशे कहीं आदा इंग्लिश और नखेल यहाँ ऐसे इन खाल नखेल यहाँ खाएगी यहाँ लबल सील सीखला जो एक खाएगी इतने ये रिश्ता नहीं इतना आलोची आप आहिन को खाले का और जो नस्ल दबास सकती है एक्शन प्लान बताता कहीं आदि निके आदि बे हिसास न तो अब ये बात जो ना अन्य case in the Labacho on it's all about opportunity. For the chapter, I share the statements on share by Bahot in. Though in this not to on the best routes and the show there. Every shop by Bacho on the money. Ado Bachonash are here. Hasene na peso, hades e peso dan tehiti faile. So eshin to ya, iklibe doze shinosun. Ene tagishin eshin am den leda. Be the chet am de fa na sosigi am de ke de kham. Auditor General go be ni je isi baksında. Aji da endişigi dikuda. Be ta da do ta ya e aji ye da ni. ऐसी तो या भी नहीं ऐसी कहना न सबाश तकोले वो देश में आज ये अन्ना खापिता general funds ये या पैसो आँखों आँखे ना foundation न खाहिन तेरे लेखो आलो दखो न और खास आलो दखाहिन तेरे general funds every year. October, no less September, on an annual basis. Now, sales tax. And all kind of en all kat nichonat aade de so khare de khashi bi jina yil to khashi ka ho enigi balance de machine da ko de sales tax na kisha kha on land claims on the land claims ge ko da khege on the for the operation of the chapter supplies of a dani. The chapter be quite be Bahanyang and claims he studied on scholarship claimed on Elon Nichonat in Yaw Kaidi. Akodina Kigo claims sustaining Hadashi Ahvid Nakayata knows Panet. Washington, the base of now, Ado Ada in Chohanalia, any shiki, interesting for the egg Chohanani. He claims he needed what Chohanani. Ado Tingo LGA Trust Fund. There's only lot of it. How can it? Did the LGA Trust Fund again? Chohanani. Ni shihigi earn income, interest. Ato nature with land, ato controller's office, ato he can't let Asian lawyer out, Hatchin to all the data, LGA Chuston. Ato on the Hick in all time, taxation. Asian lawyer up to that, up and not. I could deal in a second based on that day. So Asian mean that this team or the Ado if I did not that if I touched those eating, Jay Artisan Asian Auditor General. That was kind of so it would all me. There has only shown the senior some son not either. Had it after Yadi based on a large all the cannot in. How about each internet? To a question not in the other thing. So I think the earlier, a little earlier, that's all a conscious letter is car that carried. And for a has only been so. I can eat the other general that car. What I shouted the best needed a second could have Lego chapter the initial a yard from that. I don't the cut it can't lie. I don't the unfit. A lot of you folks have computers out. You can log on to community development. On hit the initiative NNDCD because community development. The area they need a passion. It does so. I could need a budget again. And hindered the north is budget again. A short chapter indicator not just got by the budget indicator. You can see the budget online. A how the peso today don't eat that. They see that as the October and I don't know that you have to fund balance with it. No. How they not based on that ZD needed answer Friday. A quiet number person. And they could only watch about transparency. It's got the number is all she does transparency. Washington, that transparency, no, fund balance, you can look at the chapters, fund balance, not that's it, in each line item. Based on that, yeah, but you balance without the I thought even yet. I don't know planning meaning of a new that a one sheet. Not only look like the staff in a little kid. Check off this is not ocean tagash. There's also lotion job. Oh, no, a question job. Receipt and in Jordan, it generates a question. Don't know, it's been in now. Jordan, enough, there's a kid every year. How I think he even in now. I call air all day here. Passing a lot of in this school. I know that I've been there to stop. Online banking is not view or just honest. Not to on Chen Li Jahao Sojo. The chapters in the Ligi are for Odini. Hakoshila, not only I don't know that LGSC they can view online. So it also does in ako ko siya in Western. Ako siya to. It always on in. Khada kwishi the name not on. Jota siya shopping center. If more than 2 eyes, 4 eyes are looking at it, people will be hesitant to do anything that's illegal. An example that I make is that I have a credit card, a debit card. I don't know, sometimes my wife says, "Can I use your card?" It's not so in Basically, on the weekend. I occasionally so I isn't done. Now I had the work. And so while I'm at the office, I can log on to my credit card. I can see what was purchased. So the chapter official LGSC, they can log on and view on it. Just the way I question my wife, then she'll say it's for your daughter. So, Auditor General, Budget Finance Committee. It's going to cost them $85,000 to view some of these. It's going to be mandatory. With the chapter, I don't want to use a legislation to do these views. But if I have to, we're going to probably do legislation so the elected leaders can view these bank accounts. Training by not state. Is the computer the husband and the check, then you can flip those checks. Who signed the checks? They can view that. So, with all due respect, Akoti kahas ilo kagi banas snagi. Kaya ada energy. Alo behas ani title 2016 chhe na liagi. Ekdo be kil question. Adon the base na gaji gi fit ke tasto. Ene ai shen do bahas da shen shatna do ke do do bahas da chhe sko ke not the ada shin da ba ne chhe do ne base ne kai Adon the an he look at Jonathan a young catching a computer ye dates. Fake They other has an year the beat of a car either. Name chapter on your chapter budget other kid us. A bakado banana snap. I thought it's about a young he question at all the data overview of DCD Bakadi. But here could all be the English. All of it are at the English. All of his army, LGA, Manas. All of base of that, Agita. I thought he's a lot of us, he looked like it.
I work for the Attorney General, and the Attorney General is empowered to be the nation's attorney pursuant to Title II, Sections 1961 to 1965. I'm not anyone's individual attorney. I'm not Delegate Butler's attorney. I'm not necessarily just the chapter's attorney. I'm not any of the other delegates or the president or anyone else. Technically, I represent the Navajo Nation as a whole. So when I sue externally, other governments or commercial interests, I'm working for the nation as a whole. In these kind of matters, it's more difficult because, as the Navajo Nation Supreme Court has stated, government attorneys have very special duties, and those duties are to represent the interests of the nation as a whole. Here, this involves trying to balance what the chapter's interests are against DCD's interests, and everyone else, I guess, between the central government and the local government. And it somehow makes sense of the law here. And to be quite frank, the law is not clear. We're here, obviously, talking about this because no one has a definite answer, and Navajo law is extremely complex on this. So here's how I came into it, and here's how the Attorney General came into this. We're latecomers into the game on this, so to speak. In that, by the time we had decided to act, because these matters looked at to be a very complex mix of politics, personal relationships, and then perhaps criminal matters or civil matters. I don't know. I'm not ethics and rules. I don't investigate people for that kind of stuff. I'm not the chief prosecutor, so I can't say if anyone's liable criminally or definitively civilly. I haven't seen a full and entire investigation played out, so I don't want to say anything too early. And basically, based upon what we had seen, though, and at the point that 4 officials had been removed by the Ethics and Rules Office and its action in the Office of Hearings and Appeals, we came in at the request of a number of government officials because, quite frankly, things were spinning out of control, and it was going to look like there was going to be 5 officials removed, and the chapter was going to be without any elected officials and only administrative employees. So things would have stopped. So we were brought in, and essentially the only thing that I saw was that there was a lack of transparency and information flowing out to the people and out to the government agencies. There are huge reporting requirements with the finances of the chapter, especially Tuanana Station. And it's because this chapter is, it's big, it's successful, it's done well. It collects millions of dollars every year in taxes, now in business side leasing revenues. Federal government appropriations, any kind of state money that flows through, and money from the central government. So, so my action, the first action that I brought, and I have everything on my computer. I brought it with me. I can email it out if someone wants to print it out and show you exactly what I've done as an attorney and what the Attorney General has done here, and the other governmental bodies that are involved. I'm fully willing to share that with everyone. Those are government documents. They're completely available to you, and you can just request them. Basically, the first action that the DOJ took was only to open up the availability to the chapter's records and information. And that was it. It was nothing more. It didn't say that the people who were involved were bad people or anything wrong. It was just simply the DOJ trying to gain access. The court, Judge Alan Sloan, with the Tuba City District Court, issued a permanent injunction enjoining two persons as individuals simply from getting in the way and blocking information or hiding it. Because it's all my concern as an attorney was financial information, I'm just trying to get into, allow other bodies in the government to take a look and investigate. Beyond that, the rest of it's been dismissed now that the court's issued a permanent injunction. And then I've advised the other officials of the nation on how to move ahead here. The easiest way to move ahead is take a look at Title 11, Section 141, or actually 140. And that allows for the election administration to take note or take notice that vacancies have been created by the events of late. So you have 4 vacancies. You have a 5th interim official who essentially is only serving a term until 5 people are appointed. And then she's agreed to voluntarily resign at the point that those appointments are certified by the election administration. So that's 140, that the election administration can take note of those vacancies. Then it's up for, a Natsmani, someone who's a leader from your community to step up. You don't necessarily have to be an elected official. I see Mr. Max. I know that former Chair McDonald lives in your community. There are a lot of leaders that, have that ability one way or the other. Elected officials can also do so and call for a meeting 48 hours in advance. The chapter can get together, vote on it, and then essentially upon voting, you need to turn that over. The resolutions is what you'll turn over to the election administration, and then it's up to the election administration to either certify or not. If they certify the results, you get 5 new officials. Those 5 officials can serve out the remainder of the terms. They can even run for the next election, and then upon swearing in, I believe that it occurs in January. Then the new officials who will be elected in November, they go in, and then the persons who are appointed, if they haven't run and won those seats, then they're out, just like if they had been elected years ago. I understand there's some difficulty between what Ledge Council has been advising election administration and what DOJ has been advising the election administration on, and quite frankly, it's caused by technicalities in the law. I don't think anyone ever foresaw being in this situation where you've got now 2 terminated administrative employees apparently, and 4 removed officials, elected officials, and a 5th who's agreed to voluntarily resign. The election administration and many people in Winter Rock are sticklers for the rules. My own personal advice is based upon what I've read from the Navajo Nation Supreme Court about local governance and about the community's ability to make decisions in order to bring itself through hard times. I know I just read an email that came in and it said that the election administration prefers that there be, a majority of your officials available to call for a quorum. That's impossible. You don't have enough officials technically to make a quorum to give the correct appointments. My own personal advice would be that either council passes a resolution that allows for it or just to do it, because I don't believe that it's going to be challenged in the Supreme Court, and I think that any kind of challenges in the Supreme Court would be challenges to appointments, that in fact the process wasn't carried out the right way or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be something that, just my understanding of reading the case law, I don't think that this would be one of those issues in which if the community acted, that the Supreme Court would be saying, no, I'm sorry, you can't exercise your authorities for local governance. So that's my own take on it. That's not necessarily the Attorney General's nor the Deputy Attorney General's take, because quite frankly, in-house at DOJ, and I think with all the attorneys in the Navajo Nation, there's no real correct and definitive answer here. Navajo law just doesn't provide for it. There's nothing, I can't go anywhere, I can't open up a book and find out, the answer on this one. It's my best guess, my best advice to you, based upon what I've read from the Supreme Court. So that's the long and short of it. Regarding financial improprieties, that's all allegations. I don't know anything about it. I haven't taken a look into it. I didn't investigate anyone, so I can't really speak to it fairly. I will say that I did contact Wells Fargo. I've set up for 2 signatories. They said that they're going to allow for it. One is the interim elected official until such time as you make the new appointments. And then I need an administrative person, and since your 2 administrative employees had been terminated, at least for the time being, and this is all pending appeals, by the way. I mean, there are appeals of removals, there are probably going to be grievances of employment actions, all that kind of stuff. So everything that I say here should be considered in light of the fact that someone somewhere could overturn it or turn it around by decision. But basically, Wells Fargo has agreed that Arvin Mitchell will act as the administrative signatory in the interim period until your chapter appoints new people. Those people will have to sit down and the new elected officials or appointed officials will have to sit down and hire administrative employees, even if they're temporary or in the interim, and then those folks will become your signatories. Ms. Nez will only serve as a signatory until such time as other people are appointed, and that will be that. The DOJ has actually recently also approved the contract of an attorney or a firm, Schenker and Kewin Boyoma, who has a young man that I'm very fond of. He's very smart. Dene, actually, he's from Page, Arizona. His name is Jason Croxton. He's barred in the state of Arizona, New Mexico, and with Navajo. A really smart guy. And he's going to be doing a lot of, and I think that firm, and I hope it's going to be your community's decision, will be doing a lot of on-the-ground advising and saying, here are the processes and going through it. Because DOJ is, I work at DOJ. I'm an attorney with DOJ. I'm not looking to bash DOJ, but we're not always the most efficient. We don't always have the greatest turnaround time in the questions that you have, and this is a very critical moment. I'm sure that you don't want to wait 2 to 3 days for me to give you a call back and give you an answer. So this firm is going to be very helpful. They had a contract in place that was approved by your elected officials back in October. We reviewed their contract, the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, myself, and the Assistant Attorney General for my unit. We have confidence in them. I think that I would state that from what I know of them and how I know them, to have confidence in them as well. But you as the community can make the decision. If you want to continue on with their representation, if you want to have them on the ground, assisting with the answers, then, just to make sure that all the, I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, then by all means do so. If you don't, then I guess tell them no and go with another firm or make your own decisions as a community. Or, do a company. I mean, nothing's set in stone. You're not stuck to anything.
LGSC, community development. Chapter house operation adon na hauda nashiki eshengi de wetna nastode khala khayge o ana yilgi doshe an ede tsabbe hosen da dida lena dapna da khan na edishi na hoyi dito de LGSC na ajo aye gona edesh khajalla na sonshito ajo khasado de khotaisha adona khigona بنانش إلا هني آدم دخشی کجایی داشتنشی دینا تصوص به آدم هزینی جور که نخوده جو به آدم هزینو به آهزین ایشینا کی تخاطر نهکم inventory خیلی دیکن chapter خطی دادم جو ایشینا تصوص بکارنه Dingo na Wells Fargo and the Bezos and the Jabal and the shop reconciliation clean up Lagana. Na is ni Adon the Ajum and the is neither I think that need a Chito Ajum Tato Icheto like the LGSC. Slapuna a bank budget. based on the shiki. And based on that, they give Hadale la e beso. Anas nel ada penta. Eshin to e alni na shin natole. Ado enta. Aho te the chapter in the show. The kegin da Ilya. Ado the RR establishment da Ilya Harshin. Jahad and tax again Hadeta. You're collecting tax. There's probably some payments attached with these collection. And it's the tax 9 day. It's not so 9 day. What actually the payments. According to the creator of the North system. Benda nashigi adini adani agati ajin ahto. Khaysh bishi khade la to lekhida. Jadi dia jona ahto yo be la leta. Kodo behazani no ya behazani no. Shta ba isnadigi. Adon da kojo na nashigi bishi khado le. Adon da nay lani shaba. Just check time, they were just out of the car. Just quite a young come snares to a bar. A she got a busy car either day. Jonet that's in it up to your house in the Ado and the Quaggy in the ideal kid. Head of the head of the old John. Ado the other is shishing. How the community development of a chapter, but the Khan and Ebes on Ghana. If she asked, she of Kana sheet or LGSC Shahadon need a entaka. Hada Benina, HMP, Kwaikishna, National National Society on the Tolly. After that, Society on the shop, Kwaki has in Naja, Anakin Peter. Ebinina, LGSC, so they'll be reviewing all these documents, making sure that all these documents are legitimate. Quite unique last week. The has only come with 90 title 26 and Dokas. Benina. Oh, Benina, Agia. There's a lot of Bulagana, Nisha Luko. Donya, yo, what a husband. Benina, 18 Dokas. That in LGA amendment. Quite unique head up, not only Yahadzi. Il nato de shotida. Jobi as so ishta edin na sto de not vida bakha. Mutaishta. Na kibna on nakhabika. Peso benda on shigi there has ani yazi no budget instruction manual. It needs of different either no. Ya in a national or the Tragonaia Tragona Abanastica, so that industry community development. We're going to reorganize. Abanaso, that's not nothing. Benina Niki Najia, Daupni Bajona LGSC, Ashka and Danish. At the Zala Zanda in the Shiki for the Dole. Ye the go chapter the story. So, edition or reorganization. To cut at the one road level and get it closer to the chapter. The community development agenda in the scheme. Kahasin Hokkaigi, Hano, Yahagi, Nanki Deshni.
Again, thank you for being here. It's really good that there are a lot of people here. Under very unfortunate circumstances, I'm glad you're here. For plan of action, what my concerns are is the immediate election of new appointed chapter officials as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible, but when you're electing them, make sure they have values, they're honest, they have your best interests at heart. That's what you want in this house. You want people that are honest, that have your values at heart. Yes, maybe I was not honest. I say that and I'm paying back. My consequences, that's what I am. I put my neck out on the line and I got what I deserved. That's fine. That's okay because I'm putting myself through it. I'm putting my family through it. But there's the rest of the others too. Yes, I did. We're all getting spanked. Yes, it's good. It's good because it's opened up this chapter to all of you. That means that if you're really concerned when we have the election, it won't be these little 24-hour or 8-hour notices. It's going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be a lot of notice so that you know when this election is and you'll get out here and you're going to vote. So you all need to be out here to do that. And again, you need to elect people with strong values, leaders that have values and your interests at heart. That's one thing. Second thing is, I really would like for this chapter to have a blessing away ceremony or a smoke out. This chapter needs to have values again. It needs to be cleansed. It's not. I used to leave this chapter house feeling dirty. I used to think I'd go home and want to take a shower. That's what I told my chapter officials, the president, former president over there. That's what I told them, and they didn't like to hear it. I said I'd go home and take a shower because I'd be ashamed about what was going on in here. So please, people, when you do so, elect people that have values. So that's why I'm saying a ceremony. Smoke out this chapter house. It needs to be cleansed again. It needs to be cleansed so that people can have good things coming out of here. You need to get back in here and make us accountable. Make the people who are running this chapter accountable.
Yeah, Shabesh Mahasa and Delegate Butler. I thought Shanat Ani, Charlie Nez, Aro, Totana, Salakoto, Tanahas Khan, Nikito, Katinde, Nikinat Ani, Tanoche, Tots is Ad, and that they not say that Nikinas Igi, not Ani, Das Leato, Katanahas Kanigito, Naso, not Ani, Tato Klehigi, and the net, which it is in the Batanche. Eja, it just seemed that one shikation in there. I put up on so case. Nasota, there's not Hagona, not Hagota, they cannot Ani, not at all Klehiki. I put out, they get the young God, yan sick case. Ash for the shikation in there, and like, did the Daino Town, Yego. What out a Washington, Yajet Honest, is it? Nikahos, Anton Nikahos, such a Bedeno ye. Hada, a you and so, oh, you no come, a shladen is nothing, the media Jaco. What out chapters about the seeking that is in. Dishi Abit, Jonathan, they don't need 24 delegates. It's not reform government. It's it's not. Khayshi qad tanahas khanigi yabesh mahasana qad khayshi tatano bihigi it's on yabesh mahasana bindi bakhndoshnish khad behaz ani nik dokot behaz ani endorhi dabadam no hajo cheyatki akhot an his ato aro dahna khayshi biketatin iki asdo Yadochni on Shanje and John Lay Trajita Dan Nada Nombi. Ninki the Napacatos was Ado Kodo Local Government Support Center, Arvin Mitchell, Department of Justice, Dre 3-branch government, Bekendos Nishyegon Hitzido, Eja de Heshi, Beshna have no Yen Washishinde. What zin de Haishi was nin de Bacados was Batsodados then. I thought a Canton was not Ani. You will, the new officials, you will confront adversity, you will confront opposition. But put that aside and you work forward with the 3-branch government and work forward to your community goals. I pray that we will the Ethics and Rules Office, we're planning on legislating to a new Ethics and Rules Commission. All these amendments, Mr. Mitchell, Capital Improvement Office, I want to see those amendments to the council to benefit the chapters and the people. And then also, Delegate Jonathan Nash, he is part of the government subcommittee on reform. He is listening and he will do what the people will have to tell him to do.
This is just a roadblock to Hasin Shikema thing that we move forward. Ado Yesido Kodo Shinado Hanayala Alvin Gone Aja Church Aja Yasazia Ado Kodo Church on Dakhe. So the Zeligishi Ben Nache Qua Nas Junagonane Katole Corona Tani Dan Linigi Beda Flito de Ashwan Shikeno Thini, what's what the Dolzan? Late Sava Zan the Dahota Charlene, Miss Nez, here for having the courage to stand up for your people. That's commendable. By hands, and she says, not many people can do that. And I appreciate that. Do Josh, Nado, Jennifer Kudo, not Ani, Nadana, Fasin Zon, Jean, do here, qua, a thought legi, in Lagido, by hands, Shananta. 1 minute, that's right now. Jim, she came of Thini, Shananish, Shal Yagi, that lay Tsavah Zand, a peso, Ikita debt, do Bada, young, Beshpasan, and Budget and Finance Committee, Ajetka, Dasanta, Ado Kede, that the need Dash, don't need a vice chair, Shikia. Chair Ligay, Lorenzo Bates, and the Upper Fruitland Dam. Out of Budget and Finance Committee, Joanne Hidet, E. Aquati, Peso, Dojo, Cho, Ego, Do Hashit, Dojo, utilize it, Yagi, Hidet, Eshmas, and so Hashi, Kodo, Hitchneshi, Do, Lesbala. A condenshe banzas queso e hikodo kerano tenigia instead of hitho binika sin shikeno thini kodo kerano tenigi tunes is dog. I believe that you all can fix certain things for your community. It's going to take a long time. Think positive. I think one positive thing that comes out of an event like this, it brings the community together. And that's what it's doing right now. I think some of these chapter officials, especially in my area as well, we never seen a packed house like this at a chapter meeting. But it's good. It just shows that your love for the government and your love for your leaders, that you're here today. Government reform, Aja Western Agency, Shishkini, Aja Kasantano, Dini Washington, the Behas Ani, Josh the Dolni, Katnas, Nella Aja Hadas, so Gido Hashik, Skinshon, Nan Nishto, Late Saga, Zandabel, no, Jay, Hina Nish, Yich, Shkena Fini, Aro Kado, Osatado, Isen Sa. Late out, Joe Dole, Nito Codoni and Tado Yard, Zianiota, not Ani, Johnny Kane has Lacodo, Nahigia, not Ani, Asian, his better husband. Ado, Yesi Mansell, Danigi, she, Digenia, Digin, God, Ebohni, not Ani, Nagi, Claria, a condon, Hishi, Aden, Hashit Ani, Ashton, and nothing, by dice on them. So to the Zenigido Hinch Cage Kainothini. Pray for your next leaders. Pray for them. When you go out, some of you drive, I know Josh drives 2 hours to get to Window 3 hours. 3 hours at least. But I just challenge you all to pray for your future leaders. Aro Krodo Ninata Armenia Hadzi, Jean cases. Regionalization again that is nation shenanigans. The acha hotzo. A condena din peshpas anya. Kujela shon atla peshpas an. She ya din katnas nan kidin shin leje. Sae stada zetse binas 8 chapters ikita des in. Ade das nelto le fi kwa benanish des inigi. Accountability, added downsides of those. No. President Yayashtina. She cases Johnson. So, look positively. Look towards the future. And pray for each other, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.